Hello, beautiful people. Hasty conclusion. Hasty conclusion part 1. I got a call from a physician at work. He called the lab wanting to add further testing to a body fluid sample that was collected 6 days ago. If we still have that sample available. If we still have that sample available because every sample sent to the lab, we have a duration of time we keep it. For example, hematology sample, specifically blood sample, for you to add further testing to those sample, to that specific sample, that sample must be 24 or less than 24 hours. Because anything more than that, the cells have already started deteriorating, so you won't get accurate results. But in this case, we're talking about body fluid. I think it was a pleural fluid. In other words, the fluid gotten from the lungs. I told him I need to first of all go find a sample to see if we have it. Secondly, since it's a testing that is not done in our facility, I have to call that facility to make sure it's something they can do. Then I will give him a call and we go from there. He said, okay. So I was able to get the sample. Looking at the sample, I already said, oh no, this is a no. And I consulted my colleague. I said, what do you think? Look at this sample. He said, oh, there is no way further testing will be done. Nevertheless, we still have to call the facility to find out because based off of our own standard of operation, we cannot do further testing on that sample. So I went ahead and called the facility. Speaking with the lady, your guess is as good as correct. To our surprise, she said, yes, we can do it. I made sure that I emphasized the date that sample was collected. And she said, oh, it's okay. Just tell the physician to put orders and you guys should ship it down to us. And I called the physician and gave him feedback. And that got me thinking how soon or how we can write off either somebody, ourselves, or a situation based off of 3 things, based from what I have or what I experience. Because we know the past or because of the current state of that thing or because of our standard way of operation as human. For this sample, which is okay, our standard of operation, we already wrote it off. We're like, it's of no use. It's useless. We can use it for nothing. But in their own standard of operation, their procedure, it was still within the standard. It was acceptable for those testing to be done. Like I said, how we are too quick to conclude. Hasty conclusion is what I call it. Either of people, because of what we know about them, our knowledge of their history, we're just quick to conclude on their life or write them off. Or because of their present state, we are quick to write them off, conclude. We're looking at their past or their present. We've used those criteria to conclude their future like we are God. Or based off of our own human standard of operation. Of course, know that can be relative. We have concluded. I learned something, and I want you to also take that as you journey through life generally. Let's not be in a haste to conclude on a matter, on someone's life, or even our own self, based off of what we have experienced before or our past history or the present state. Because looking at that sample, the present state is nothing to write home about. Or based off of our standard of operation, let's not be quick to write off someone, a situation, or ourselves. Even the Bible says that there is hope for a tree if it be cut down. For at the scent of water it shall sprout forth again. The book of Job. So as you journey through life, even currently you looking at me, you're going through something that with the state of things, you're like, before you finish that statement, be careful what you say. Brace up. There is hope. As long as we are alive, there is hope. Let's not be quick to conclude people because of what you know about them currently or what you have heard about them. Their past. You feel based on this, you can conclude their future. Remember, even in a situation where they have even put a full stop, we serve a God that can change that full stop to a comma. I'm talking to you, looking at me. That situation that it looks like there is no hope, humanly speaking, based off. I'm glad that we're serving a God that is God all by himself, that does not need human approval to do what he wants to do. So, like I said, he's a God that can turn that situation that doctors, life, even you have put a full stop. He can turn that full stop to a comma. He can turn that full stop to a semicolon. He can even turn it to a colon. He can even choose to leave that full stop and say, okay, this is the end of this chapter, part 2, and not necessarily the end. So the message for today is this. That sample, humanly or based off of our own standard, it was nothing to write home about. The message is this. Let's not be quick to conclude on an issue or a situation or someone's life or our own life based off of history, the past, right? Or the present, or even our standard of operation, because there's still hope. So go with this mindset as you journey through the rest of the week, that there is hope. In that situation, there is hope. For you as an individual, there is hope. For that person by your side, there is hope. All right? Till next time, have a splendid week.